Emotionally abusive narcissists will go crazy if their victims do the following 16 things.
Beneath their charming facades lies a dark reality. Brace yourself for the shocking truth of emotionally abusive narcissists and their impact on empathetic individuals.
Narcissists and empaths are two dominant forces in the field of emotional dynamics. Watching a narcissist is like watching a never-ending dance, a tug-of-war where the narcissist always seems to win. To the good-natured empath, the emotionally abusive narcissist wears a mask of charm and self-assurance while wielding a weapon of control and manipulation. A narcissist's entire life is a show, a vast opera, in which they play the starring role, and they will stop at nothing to keep the focus on themselves. But empaths have it in them to turn the tables on the narcissist and expose their true nature to the world. Picture Anna and Robert now. Robert's initial charm and unwavering adoration for Anna give her a sense of security and worth. However, as time goes on, Anna, a powerful and talented empath, learns to see through the layers of Robert's narcissism. Even though she's fighting an uphill battle, she's determined to get her strength back. Along the way, she learns 16 foolproof methods for making the emotionally abusive narcissist lose their footing and eventually their mind.
The strength of uncompromising truth.
Radical honesty is one of the most subtle but effective weapons in an empath's arsenal. It's like a bucket of ice water being dumped on the narcissist's well-constructed world of deception and falsehood. Think of it as a Gandhian approach to dealing with narcissists, a way to burst their bubble without resorting to violence or aggression, relying instead on the unwavering power of the truth. Do you recall how Robert would tell Anna he was out with his friends, working late and doing things that didn't make sense, but he would always cover up the inconsistencies with a winsome grin and a peck on the cheek? Anna, being a naturally empathetic person, forgave him and pushed aside her unease. The narcissist's paper-thin veil of lies was shattered, however, when she began her journey of radical honesty and confronted him about his inconsistencies with probing inquiries. They believe you should tell the truth, even if your voice shakes, which Anna duly did. For example, she could have said,
Robert, your stories don't add up. I know you're lying.
It would have been difficult, and every fiber of her being might have protested, but the effect on Robert would have been immeasurable. As much as he fumbles and stammers and attempts to weave another falsehood, it just doesn't go anywhere, like a deflated balloon.
Accepting one's ignorance and disinterest.
Ignorance and disinterest may be just as harmful as outright hostility. As the adage goes, when utilized strategically, indifference can be a powerful tool for empaths in their battle against narcissists. Narcissists require external approval so badly that they will do everything to be the center of attention. The more you show that you don't care about their dramatics, manipulative comments, and self-glorifying stories, the more their egos will be deflated, and their attempts to draw you into their drama will lose their devitalization. The scene is set. Anna is sipping her coffee calmly, as Robert, seeking her support and adulation, launches into one of his customary epic yarns about his achievements. She doesn't give in to his requests, but instead hums indifferently while reading her book and gives him short answers in place of the effusive adulation he craves. She is preparing herself to be unaffected by Robert's repeated attempts to be the center of her world. She's yelling.
By the way, Robert, I find your stories repetitive, and they seem less credible each time.
Rejection's strength.
There are few things as devastating to a narcissist as being rejected. They're terrified that everyone will eventually give up on them and realize they're only pretending. You may shake the foundation of their calculated charisma by refusing to comply with their demands, fighting against their unjust expectations, and standing up for yourself. Consider Anna and Robert's situation. Robert, like most narcissists, is inflexible and insists that everything be done precisely his way. He believes that she should always be there to satisfy his every whim. Anna's rejection of his continuous calls during her me time and subsequent astonishment at her newfound independence leave him bewildered.
I have to apologize, Robert, but I have other obligations.
Her new catchphrase,
I can't change them for you on such short notice, has Robert rolling his eyes.
Exposition.
you may recognize the term caught in the act from several reality TV prank shows. The expression of shock, embarrassment, and humiliation that the captured fraudster or prankster wears is consistent. Think about how often a narcissist, who is constantly lying and pretending, must face caught in the act situations. Their strength would be sapped, they would be shocked, and they might even get angry. They unwittingly brought this to themselves by weaving a web of deceit too complex and precarious to last forever. For Anna and Robert, this would play out beautifully at a dinner gathering. As usual, Robert plays the role of Toastmaster, entertaining his audience with fantastic tales of his travels. But Anna resolves to use her sword of truth to cut through his hyperbole. Robert is bragging about his CrossFit accomplishments when Anna cuts him off with,
Funny, Robert, you claimed last time you had a knee injury preventing you from serious workout regimes.
These few words, laid out for all the guests to see, are explosive enough to reveal Robert's grand facade. Even if the guests laugh it off, Robert will no longer be the center of attention. In the aftermath of this revelation, there will be radio silence, a time bomb of long overdue exposure.
Careful monitoring.
Do you get the chills when you enter a room that is too quiet, or when you sense that someone is observing you? Despite their outward displays of confidence and charisma, narcissists get extremely uncomfortable when the focus shifts to them. They act out their lives daily, but the plays are well rehearsed and not meant for scrutiny or spontaneous critiques. Anna gains more than just insight into Robert's techniques as she begins to observe the tiny lines, the slip-ups between Robert's numerous versions of reality. Her close attention to his behavior reveals his contradictions and sheds light on his deceitful world.
I find your contradictory statements quite disturbing, Robert. Are you sure you're keeping nothing to yourself?
She asks, revealing her open disquiet. To prevail against a narcissist as an empath, you may have to fight against your very nature. Keep in mind that you are fighting as much for your mental health as for the right to speak the truth. Taking charge is a challenging endeavor that calls for fortitude, honesty, self-respect, and wisdom. It's more than just following a set of instructions. It's taking an ethical stand.
Building confidence in oneself.
Narcissists are masters at projecting an air of supreme assurance and self-assurance. However, beneath this mask, they are relentless in their pursuit of others' diminished sense of self-worth. Empaths like Anna can tip the scales in their favor in this situation. Anna's ability to retain and strengthen her sense of self-worth allowed her to not only withstand Robert's constant attempts to undermine her, but also to push him to confront his feelings of inadequacy. She started listing her qualities and accomplishments and giving herself hearty pats on the back. Robert felt increasingly uneasy as she stopped trying to win his approval.
I appreciate your perspective, Robert, but my achievement doesn't need your validation.
She would say calmly and confidently every time he made a demeaning comment. She kept her self-esteem soaring by practicing self-love, going to therapy, and doing affirmation exercises.
Establishing firm, clear boundaries.
Like a ravenous beast, a narcissist is constantly on the lookout for new territory to dominate. They disregard the boundaries that are necessary for a healthy relationship, but are disregarded by them. Empaths who want to stop falling prey to abusive narcissists must fortify their defenses. Narcissists are slowed down by boundaries, and the very act of disobeying them sends a strong message. Anna began by reducing her contact with Robert. When Robert tried to cross those lines, she didn't back down. All it took was a straightforward assertion like,
I have plans with my friends tonight, Robert, and it's important to me.
for him to explode into a fit of rage. She fortified her defenses even further by applying strategies she picked up in therapy and self-help literature. Each wall she built and kept up was an annoyance to Robert and a drop in his ability to control her.
Silence as an unexpected weapon.
Surprisingly, in a world where noise is constantly present, stillness can be heard more clearly. Emotionally abusive, narcissists are troubled by the lack of response since they are always seeking attention. Maintaining your composure and ignoring their attempts to provoke, you can throw them off guard. Anna realized that she shouldn't add gasoline to the fire whenever Robert started an argument. She was able to withstand Robert's verbal assault because she never responded to his name calling or attempts to demean her. She would leave the room without a word, leaving Robert to wallow in his failure in silence, rather than get dragged into an unhealthy fight. The use of silence as a rhetorical device conveys power and authority. Anna's calm answer to Robert's insults.
Robert, I'll engage in this conversation when it's more constructive and respectful.
Broke him down and undermined his manipulative influence over her.
Maintaining authenticity.
Narcissists are masters of manipulation. They will use every trick in the book to get their way. Maintaining a firm grasp on who you are is your best line of defense. Don't let a narcissist make you doubt yourself or change your firm principles. Anna was put in this position when Robert pressured her to deceive their mutual friends. She stared him down, unyielding in her refusal to lower her standards for him.
Robert, I won't lie to protect your image. What you're asking isn't right.
Such resistance, such unyielding resolve in the face of a storm, drives narcissists to insanity. They can't understand why anyone would stand in the way of their egotistical desires.
Identifying and escaping a harmful connection.
This is a tough one since it needs a lot of perseverance, determination, intention, and self-love. But it's also an essential one. Leaving an emotionally abusive narcissist is not a sign of weakness, but of strength and courage on the part of the empath. Anna saw that the tension, disdain, and emotional drain in her relationship with Robert were becoming increasingly toxic. She talked to her best friend and sought professional counseling, which gave her the strength to tell Robert, in a level-headed manner,
Our relationship isn't healthy, Robert, for either of us. I am moving on.
The no contact policy.
as the voyage comes to a close, the ultimate step is to completely sever ties with the narcissist. This action conveys a conscious lack of interest and a direct refusal to participate in their drama. It is also the one that usually utterly shatters their universe. After their argument, Anna removed all traces of Robert from her online presence, banned his number, and avoided him at all costs. The ensuing stillness was deafening to Robert, who was at a loss to make sense of his abrupt rejection. They may become increasingly frustrated with this method as they try to regain control and are confronted with nothing but silence and disinterest.
Commitment to development.
The empath's development is crucial to the process of escaping an abusive narcissist. Anna freed herself from Robert's domineering grip by concentrating fiercely on bettering her own life, self-improvement, and overall happiness. Her defenses against Robert's poisonous influence were strengthened with each positive book she read, therapy sessions she attended, and meditation she practiced first thing in the morning. She would smile and tell him,
Every step I take is my growth, Robert. I don't need your approval.
whenever he tried to put her down.
Disdainful behavior towards a narcissist.
This strategy involves giving the narcissist a taste of their medication. Therefore, it should be done with caution. When Anna started treating Robert with the same scorn he displayed toward other people, Robert's pride took a hit. When he tried to shake her determination, she would look him in the eye and calmly tell him,
Your perception doesn't define me, Robert.
Ignoring the narcissist's seriousness.
Robert, like many narcissists, takes great delight in his fantastical, deceptively perfect environment. When Anna began to doubt his stories and communicate her doubts to him, Robert got a peek at how he appeared to others, and it shook his confidence. Anna would often laugh off his lies, as in the following example.
Well, Robert, that's another feather in your imaginary cap, isn't it?
Dropping the fight and leaving.
Severing all links with the narcissist is the final act, representing ultimate resistance and self-preservation. The cherry on top was Anna's choice to end her unhealthy relationship with Robert. When she said,
This is where it ends, Robert. I would appreciate it if you respected my space.
she was being clear and aggressive about putting an end to Robert's abusive control. Together, we have traveled the distance she needed to escape an emotionally abusive narcissist and regain her life. Every strategy used is another step up the ladder of oppression. By analyzing her behavior, we can see that she consistently resists the narcissist's attempts to exert power over her. With each action, the narcissist reacts with repulsion, frustration, and a further descent into the depths of their threatened narcissism. This extensive look at coping with emotionally abusive narcissists comes to a close here. Anna's incredible bravery, tenacity, and boldness throughout her journey provide inspiration to other empaths who find themselves in similar situations. Again, every experience with an emotionally abusive narcissist will be unique, and not all of the suggestions above may sit well with your values or comfort level. Seek professional help immediately if you find yourself in such a relationship, and always put your mental and emotional health first. You have the inner strength to overcome any emotionally abusive narcissist as you continue on this path of self-discovery, healing, and development. Stand firm in the face of adversity and never forget who you are, a shining example of the very qualities a narcissist fears most: empathy, heart, and human connection. Our deep dive into coping with emotionally abusive narcissists comes to a close here. Anna's journey has been one of incredible bravery, tenacity, and assertiveness. She is an inspiration to all empaths who have found themselves in the grips of narcissists. One of the most difficult obstacles an empath can encounter is interacting with an emotionally abusive narcissist. However, as Anna's experience shows, adversity can also be a catalyst for tremendous introspection, strength, and development. The goal here is not simply to drive narcissists crazy, but to restore your sanity. So use these strategies with caution and put your own needs first. While dealing with a narcissist like Anna may be challenging, it's also an opportunity for tremendous personal growth, resilience building, and self-discovery. It's not only about driving the narcissist crazy, it's about you restoring your sanity. So apply these strategies responsibly, keeping your own needs at the forefront at all times. This was merely an example to show how the strategies could be put into practice. Each person's interaction with an emotionally abusive narcissist is unique, and hence, their reactions to these strategies may vary. Get in touch with a therapist if you or someone you know is experiencing emotional distress as a result of your interactions with a narcissist.